Hi, and thanks for joining us. Please be advised that this channel and these videos are not intended to be medically suggestive in any way, shape, or form. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Life Unmedicated. This is episode 45. Big headphones. Yes, we're almost at 50. That's insane. So today is Wednesday, July 19th. And the last one I did was, I believe, Monday. So I didn't do one yesterday. And this one actually will not get uploaded until Friday. So I'm going to backlog. I'm going to upload probably today's and tomorrow's, and then on Friday, and then Friday I'll upload maybe on Saturday or Sunday. I am currently fasting, so no like social media, anything, in that realm. So I am obviously recording it, but I don't want to be like uploading it and having to do all that during this period of time. So yeah, and it's earlier in the day because I did want to talk about yesterday, and then maybe today. I don't really have much. Well, I don't know. Anyway, let me just get into it. So yesterday was actually rough. Yesterday was difficult. It started off okay, but then for some odd reason, when I got to the middle of my day, things just started going downhill. Like, I started feeling really bad about myself. Like, I just started feeling super frumpy and just like ugly and just all around negative. All this negativity was just like washing over me, which was so interesting because I was just good. Like, on Monday I was good, Sunday I was good, like, I've been fine. And even when I was experiencing my depression, it wasn't at that level. So I just found it so interesting and odd. And I think it had to do with because I told myself I wasn't gonna do a certain activity anymore, but I still did it, but just in a different form. And I gave myself an excuse, which I try not to justify my, like, if I tell myself I'm not going to do something, then it's not a perfect system and people falter, I get that, but I try not to justify like other means to that end. So I think it was that, and it didn't even really like only. Anyway, so I think it might have been that, but like, I went to the gym, I went to this Zumba class. It was bad. Like, the class was great, but my energy was so low. I was like barely, like, I think I burned like 250 calories or something crazy like that in an hour-long class. That's high energy and high intensity. Like, no. I was clearly just sitting in the back doing a two-step the whole time. Like, clearly. But, you live and you learn. So there was that. I tried really hard not to let my negative narratives of myself like take over me. So I'm kind of glad that I was in Zumba because it wasn't the distraction. It wasn't as much of a distraction as I needed, but it was distracting enough to not let me go down that like rabbit hole, So that was difficult. I think we all deal with, well, maybe not we all, I won't use a blanket all, but in general, I think most of us deal with negative narratives and cognitive distortions. And it can be really difficult. Like, I called I didn't call, I sent my best friend a voice note, and I was just like, girl, I am struggling right now. I needed support, and I just needed to like get it off my chest it's interesting because I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when I'm feeling bad or have a bad or negative thought, I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to like breathe life into it, which is totally legit. But I think yesterday it actually really helped for me to say it out loud because I didn't keep it in and internalize it. I spoke it and then I tried to move forward. It did take me a while to move forward, but I also knew that like whatever I was feeling was temporary. So if I could just get through that period of time, I was gonna be okay. And I even told her on the phone, I was like, I'm pretty sure once I go home, eat, get the things that I need to get done for this evening, get a good night's rest. When I wake up in the morning, I'll feel better. And I did. I woke up this morning and I felt a lot better. And I think that it really got kicked off because, and this is a little personal, it's a little, I wouldn't say embarrassing, I would say shameful. It's not embarrassing. I do feel shame around it. But I told y'all before that I was eating crazy and I was going to gain every bit of pound back that I worked so hard to lose over the last year, and I gained it all back, like every pound plus a few. So I think that that really got to me, and I wasn't trying to let it get to me because I know the way it's set up is a little different because I'm like muscular, not like, women's bodybuilding or anything like that, but muscle does weigh more than fat, and I've been working out consistently at least 4 times a week on average for a year. So I know that there's that in there. So I'm like telling myself like, no, like, it's not, it doesn't, you don't look the same, blah blah blah, like whatever. But and for me, I think it got to me because of the number, which I don't necessarily even want to care about. Like, really, I tell myself as long as I'm healthy, that's what matters. But I think that a lot of what has been impressed upon me from society, is still a part of my, it's still a part of my expectations or my like goals for myself. Like, I don't want to be skinny for darn sure, but at the same time, like, I want to fit in my clothes. I don't want to be like unhealthy, and like I'm really sorry if I offend anybody, but like being overweight is simply just not healthy. Like I'm already overweight, to be quite honest with you. I think according to the BMI, I'm obese. I'm okay with that because I feel like the BMI is some BS. But at a certain point in being fat, and I'm gonna use the word fat because I don't think it's a bad word. There are negative connotations associated with it, but I'm not using it in that way. There comes a certain point in being overweight or being fat where it puts you at health risks. And as someone who's already had a history with hypertension, it's not something that I want to, it's just not something that I see for myself. It's not something that I want to do myself. And if I can control it, then I try my hardest. But I think with this, like, not taking my medicine, all of these transitions that have been happening, my fight or flight reflex being activated, the whole thing happening, getting thrown off my routine, all of these things have just culminated in me being very, just giving in to the desires of my flesh. And I used to do it in one way, and now that I'm not doing that anymore, it's showing up in a different way, which is eating everything I can see. So usually when I get this way, I fast, and and that's like not just from food. Like it's like a spiritual cleanse. Like I'm not taking in anything secular. I'm eating like or drinking water and like fruit juices like that I make myself, not from the store or whatever. And just being in my word and being closer to God, and just kind of and it also in turn like resets my my spirit, and it resets my palate, because there are times when I can't stop eating junk food like burgers, pizza. Tacos can be healthy, but like I'm eating unhealthy tacos with all the cheese and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So that, those things are things that, if I eat them too much, I have to reset my palate because every day I want something greasy and fat and artery clogging. So this it has helped before. This is the first time I'm fasting without taking Adderall, and I was afraid because I felt like Adderall is an appetite suppressant, so I felt like it was easier for me to do it with the Adderall because half the time my appetite was suppressed. But the way that, like, I'm a grown woman, so like when I was a kid, when I was like a teenager taking Adderall, I used to not eat all day. Like, I would barely eat lunch, and I never really had breakfast. I would just eat like once a day for dinner, and I never really saw a problem with that because it wasn't that I was saying I wasn't hungry, but I rarely ever had like money for food at school, and then like I couldn't never wake up to in time to fix myself breakfast, and I didn't know breakfast and lunch. And I didn't know what I know now about like nutrition and eating and like all that stuff. And also, like, I would get my physical every 6 months, and every year, and I was never like malnourished or anything, so I didn't see a problem. But anyway, back to current day 33-year-old me. It hasn't been the same. It hasn't been like that since probably like college. Like, my appetite was suppressed to the point where I'm not eating all day. Like, I'm not literally eating all day, but I'm eating like when I do get hungry, or I did get hungry. So I would eat like, I usually would like intermittent fast until 12, and then I would eat lunch, and then I would eat dinner before 8, and then I would intermittent fast again, which I still kind of do. No, I don't. I started eating my chia seed pudding in the morning in hopes that that would keep me fuller throughout the day. But anyway, so I kind of forgot what my point was. Oh, I thought it would be more difficult because I'm not taking my medication, which was an appetite suppressant. But it actually hasn't been difficult. Jesus has been seeing me through, as I knew he would. So, but it's been less than a day. It's about 3:30, so the day is not done. And I have tomorrow to do as well. Y'all might see me on here looking crazy tomorrow, like, I'm so hungry. But fasting really will do you good because, baby, let me tell you, when you can't eat nothing, anything is going to look good. I'm going to have lettuce on Friday and be ecstatic, okay? Like, it's going to be great. And also, I just feel like I'm coming to a new... I don't know what the word is for it. A new, like, understanding as far as my religion is concerned. And I think that, I know that fasting helps me gain clarity in that area. So I'm really excited for both. But I can't lie, like, the palate reset is, I'm very excited for that because I'm tired of eating myself out of house and home. Like, I can't afford it. Life is expensive. I can't stop spending money. And, if I can cut costs in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to do that. Now, maybe I should cut clothes before I cut food, but I can also cut both. So, anyway, we're already at 13 minutes, which is insane because I didn't even talk about... Oh, yeah, I did. I talked about everything. Awesome. So, I'm still working on impulsivity. I'm still trying to, put time and space between the impulse and the behavior, which was kind of successful a little bit. These first few times I've tried. Actually, the impulses with eating have been a lot better, but not as good as they need to be, which is why I was like, you know what, girl, give it up. Give it up to God and let him handle the rest. But the impulses with spending money, that hasn't been the greatest is all. But listen, I'm working on me and I am trying, and I think that is what matters. I'm doing my very, very best. I'm doing my best. I feel like very, very best is a stretch because I could probably be doing better. But I'm doing the best I can with what I have right now. And, praise God for second, third, and umpteenth chances. Anyway, I won't I won't talk y'all's ear off. I won't talk your head off. any longer. We're about to hit 15 minutes. So I hope you all are having a beautiful day, a beautiful night, a beautiful year, a beautiful life. Okay? Take care. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if the spirit moves you. I really appreciate you all, and have a great day.